the map, I would be kind of cautious about doing anything. Because these Zerglings are incredibly fast, and holy crap. Look at that. If we look at the units tab, that is 166 Zerglings. I gotta be honest, the greatest thing ever right now, in my opinion, would be if Stephano just turned those all into Banelings. I think he could win the game right there. If he turned 165 Zerglings into Banelings, he could literally just roll right up in here and destroy everything. I think it'd be funny. I know he won't do it, but it'd still be awesome. Now, the problem with this is Polt did max out before Stephano. He is going to be able to push out here pretty soon. But look at the upgrades for Stephano right now. Because of these Zerglings, he's kept the map control, and he's basically scared the Terran from doing any kind of push, or even any kind of drops. I feel like Polt should have been doing drops at least at some point. But because of the mobility of Stephano's army, and look at this, doing a run-by, that is ballsy, losing a ton of Zerglings in the process, but... okay, yeah, that wasn't worth it at all, actually, I don't think. Losing a ton of these Zerglings, but immediately maxing out again, and look at this. His Zerglings are going to be fully upgraded here shortly, and they're going to be Cracklings, giving them the speed upgrade. And then Ultralists are going to pop out as 3-5. That is huge for Stephano. And he's got those Infestors to throw down fungal growths, to keep these Marauders from basically kiting these Ultralisks. And I'm interested to see what goes on here. This will be a heavy micro battle for Stephano. He definitely needs to make sure that he doesn't do what he's doing right here. He's going to lose a lot of Lings, but there we go, getting in on the side here. Zerglings coming from every direction, but I don't think that did nearly what it needed to. He lost a lot of units right there. Now he is getting out 28 Zerglings and a great fungal growth right there. Now he doesn't want to use these needlessly. He needs to save them so they do as much damage as possible. That was an excellent fungal growth. And look at these Ultralists coming in, doing a ton of damage. They are almost 3-5. Could you imagine being a Marine standing up to an Ultralisk right there? I don't know if you guys have seen hopefully you guys have seen the trailer for Heart of the Swarm, where at the very end it shows the cinematic where the Ultralisk gets hit in the face by a siege tank. That's how balls to the wall Ultralisks are. They can get hit in the face by a tank and still win. So beautiful play by Stephano, throwing out these infested Terrans, soaking up that initial siege tank volley. This will allow his army to get in here, do a ton of damage before any real assault happens, but I don't think it's enough. I feel like Stephano had that first engagement with his Zerglings was too ill-conceived, and here we go. Polt is going to be able to push in right here and do a lot of damage. I don't know if these Ultralists are going to be very well equipped to deal with all of this bio. They're definitely keeping a lot of their HP, but they need to get those attacks. They're getting kited incredibly hard right now. Taking out these siege tanks is going to be a good victory, but those siege tanks are going to win out eventually. And this Stephano is looking kind of rough right now. Now he does have a good income. He is getting out a bunch of Ultralists, Infestors, and Zerglings right now. But I feel like if he's going to win this game, he needs to hit the production of the Terran player. This is a point that I feel like every player hates to be in. This is the hardest thing to deal with. Whenever you're turtled in by a Terran and you can't get to their production, you're in a lot of trouble. Basically, what we need to see Stephano do is he needs to push in here somewhere, kill this production, kill some barracks, maybe factory, something like that. He is basically going to give up this. Oh no! Bad rally point for this Ultralist. That's a lot of minerals down the drain. Oh, that is awful. And here we go. Stephano gonna go ahead, try and push out a little bit. I'd love to see him try and do some kind of economic damage. This army is pretty spread out, and here we go. Let's see if we can see some Lings coming in from all sides. Stephano looks like he is finally going to be able to clean this up. These Lings doing a great amount of DPS for his army, and an amazing fungal growth right here. Stephano really showing what his APMs can do. Although I must say I am a little scared to look at the units lost. I feel like overall Stephano is in more trouble. Yeah, and if we look at that, that is basically 7,000 minerals that Stephano has lost that Polt has not. So Polt definitely in a great position, even going to go ahead and do some drops. right now. I feel like this is a good idea. He knows that the Zerg army is pretty clustered up and that Stephano has to keep his army together, because really this right here is incredibly dangerous for Stephano to attack into. These siege tanks do a ton of damage to his army. And look at this, Stephano gonna go ahead, pull back. He doesn't want to lose any kind of economy to this drop. And this is bad news. Here we go. These 4 Zerglings are not going to do the trick. Now he does have a spine crawler, but that's not enough. 2 spine crawlers, my bad. And look at this, Polt going to go ahead and take this opportunity to go ahead and engage this expansion, and these siege tanks are just doing work against these Ultralisks. And Stephano, I feel like, is in a lot of trouble. He had a couple bad engagements right there in the middle of the game that really just were out of control for him. They really just set him back too much. And now Polt is really just expanding everywhere he can. He's not that worried. He can go ahead and afford to lose a couple command centers. This planetary going to go ahead, rake in a couple kills before it goes down. And look at this. I mean, he's got 3,000 minerals. Right now, I wouldn't be surprised to just see him throw down a ton of command centers just to use them for those mules, and then also to just make it so that he can get rid of some SCVs, make his army bigger, and even I wouldn't be surprised to see him throw down some extra command centers for planetary fortresses, really just to stop run-bys, to just do that extra damage, to create walls to throw off the pathing of these Ultralisks. And I feel like right now Stephano needs to get some kind of tech switch. I think Broodlords would be a great switch for him if he had time. Sorry about my mouse right there. And Stephano going to go ahead and put in, that's a lot of infested Terrans. Hopefully they can do enough damage for him. And they all pop. Beautiful. They're doing a lot of work against these siege tanks. Stephano going to go ahead and push on in, but losing all of his Ultralisks. And here come the reinforcements by Polt. Stephano really just has nothing to speak of that's going to be able to deal with this army. If we look at the production, he's got 6 infestors on the way. The ones that he has, though, don't have very much energy. And this might be the last push by Polt. He's got a couple siege tanks over here. Beautiful spread by him. He's not going to lose all those Marines to a single fungal growth. And Polt is doing a great job here at just containing the Zerg on all fronts. He has got his production off the charts, bringing in siege tanks, marauders, marines all the time, and Stephano just can't keep up with it. It is 73 harvesters to 71, so it is equal there, but with this base going down, Stephano is going to be in a lot of trouble. This is that many less crystal or mineral patches that he can mine off of, which is going to slow down his income. And look at how quickly Polt can reinforce his army. At any given time, he's bringing in 4 marauders, 2 siege tanks, and 8 marines. And really, he could even pump that up a little bit farther if he wanted to. And all the while, just setting up these beautiful siege tank lines that are really, really hard to engage. Some good fungal growths there, but I don't think they're going to be enough. I would expect that any minute now, Stephano's going to go ahead and tap out this army right here. These are 3-3 Marines, which in my opinion are the most amazing units when they're upgraded fully. 3-3 Marines I feel like just don't die, especially when they have medevac support. And oh, Stephano just running his infestors right past those Marines, wasting a couple fungal growths. And there we go, the congrats by Stephano, always playing with good manners. And really an interesting game by both these players. I haven't seen a Zerg play that Zergling heavy in a long time, but I think it actually did cost Stephano in the long run. It kept him from being able to have, to attack those walls that Polt put up early. Polt did a great job at picking his engagements. Having this area right down here was perfect for Polt. He knew that there were only choke points that he could be engaged from, which meant those siege tanks were that much more lethal, and it won him the game. So I hope you guys loved this game. I hope you learned something from it, and I'll see you guys at the next game.